Welcome aboard the Bitcoin Express. My name is Chase. Let's get to it. Is Ethereum better than Bitcoin? And the answer is yes when it comes to certain categories. Also, this will depend on an individual's personal situation and also on their risk tolerance. So in this video, we're going to compare Bitcoin to Ethereum when it comes to three different categories. Category number one is technology. Category number two is their use as money. And category number three, their investment potential. So when it comes to Ethereum versus Bitcoin, which one has the greater technology? And before we get to that, I do want to note that these two projects are totally different. It really is like comparing apples to oranges. But for the purpose of this video, we are going to do our best to compare the two. So when it comes to technology, Ethereum versus Bitcoin, Ethereum is the clear winner. But this is by design. You see, Bitcoin was created to be simple, basic money. You send from person A to person B, and then from person B to person C. And now while this is, a great thing, Vitalik Buterin, who is the founder of Ethereum, he saw a problem with this. See, Vitalik Buterin was a big fan of Bitcoin, but he thought to himself, how can we have this digital money, the money of the internet, work without it being programmable or Turing complete? It's not smart money. So from this thought, Vitalik Buterin had the idea to create Ethereum, where you can take money and now you can give it instructions. It's programmable. So back to our example with Bitcoin. If you send from person A to person B, simple. But Vitalik had a different idea where you can give instructions to the money. For example, you take money from person A, you send it to an Ethereum smart contract, and the Ethereum smart contract has specific directions. For example, it might say, in 35 days from now, at 8 a.m., if the temperature is above 70 degrees Fahrenheit, send this money to person B. But if in 35 days from now, at 8 a.m., the temperature is below 70 degrees Fahrenheit, send the money back to my wallet. So as you can see, there are all kinds of things that you can do with Ethereum since it's smart programmable money. And from here, the ecosystem boomed and it grew into this huge space that we have today of DeFi, or decentralized finance. These are traditional financial applications, or they mimic traditional financial applications, except there is no central party. It's all decentralized. And this space today, at the making of this video, is worth more than $1 billion. And majority of that money is tied up in Ethereum. So a few years ago, we could have never imagined what this space would look like. Some of these ideas or concepts we just found about recently, again, we could have never imagined a few years ago. Concepts, protocols, such as flash loans and yield farming. And if you want to know more about flash loans and yield farming, I will leave links in the description below for videos that I made on them. And also, I will leave links at the end of the video. So when it comes to technology, Ethereum is the clear winner. Now, when it comes to category number two, their use as money, what's better, Bitcoin or Ethereum? And right before we get into that, if you're still watching this video and you want to be part of this growing young blockchain space and want easy, simple to understand videos, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that eventually you can become a crypto and blockchain expert. Now back to the content. So when it comes to money, Ethereum versus Bitcoin, which one is better? And the clear answer, the clear winner by miles, is Bitcoin. And this is because of the unique characteristics that Bitcoin has. Also, these are the same characteristics that it shares with gold. And Ethereum, while it is still valuable, as you can see, it's still the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, it is missing two of these crucial features. And the one that's the most crucial, or the most important, is that there is no max supply. There is no hard cap on Ethereum. Whereas with Bitcoin, the max supply is 21 million Bitcoin. There will only be 21 million Bitcoin and not a single one more. So this gives Bitcoin that scarcity and that rarity, gives it value. So like I said, while Ethereum still is very valuable today at the making of this video, it doesn't have that feature of scarcity as there's no max supply. And the second issue with Ethereum is that while it is decentralized, it's not 110% decentralized like Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, we don't know who the creator is. We still don't know today. There is no one single person in the Bitcoin space that can really influence it or change the course of the future for Bitcoin. But when it comes to Ethereum, while I said it still is decentralized, we do know who the creator is, Vitalik Buterin. There's also the Ethereum Foundation behind Ethereum. So while Vitalik Buterin doesn't have direct control of Ethereum, he is a big influence, and what he thinks and what he says can definitely change the course or the outcome of the Ethereum project. So as you can see, when it comes to technology, Ethereum is the winner, and when it comes to money, Bitcoin is the winner, and that's clear by the market cap. People choose to put their money into Bitcoin as a store of value, and if people are going to spend their money online, more often than not, they choose Bitcoin over Ethereum. Now we're going to get to the third category. This is the category that people really came here for. This is the one people want to know. When it comes to investment, which one is better, Bitcoin or Ethereum? Now these are just my opinions. This is not financial advice, so I'm not telling you which one you should invest in, just sharing my opinions. So I believe that when it comes to Bitcoin versus Ethereum, investment potential will depend on your personal circumstances and also on your risk tolerance. So in the crypto space, people look at Bitcoin as a less risky investment option, which is kind of a funny thing to think of because as long, right when you're in the crypto space, everything is risky. But once you're within the crypto space and you want to choose between cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin is typically the less risky option. Number one, this is because the market cap is much larger, so it's much harder to move this cryptocurrency in price. Whereas with Ethereum, the market cap is much smaller, so it's much easier for someone to maybe manipulate the price or move it around. And because of this, financial institutions mostly, they flock towards Bitcoin. Any financial institution that is involved in cryptocurrency, 99% of the time they're involved in Bitcoin. Not always though with Ethereum, but we are seeing now over the last year that a lot of these financial institutions that deal with Bitcoin are now offering Ethereum products. So if you are a person of low risk, or I'll use myself as an example, lower risk, you might want to go into something that is a little more stable, right? But of course, you can get greater gains with a cryptocurrency that has a smaller market cap, such as Ethereum, because there's more room for it to grow. But of course, that's high risk, high reward. So today, when we think about, again, I don't want to tell you this is investment advice. I'm going to use myself as an example again. I want to put in money today into cryptocurrency. I want to put in, $10,000 into Bitcoin or into Ethereum. So if I don't have, that high risk tolerance, I probably want to go with Bitcoin. But if I want to make a lot of money, there's a lot of people out there that say, I want to be a crypto millionaire. Is it actually possible? Well, it might be a little harder with Bitcoin. Even if Bitcoin reaches these insane prices that people predict it will in 10 or 20 years of $500,000 or, $600,000, putting in $10,000 today into Bitcoin, it won't make you a millionaire. But when it comes to something like Ethereum, there's a lot more room to grow. But like I said, this would be for a more risk, a person that is able to handle more risk. Even if we're using, current prices, right? We're not talking about 10 years from now or 20 years from now. Let's say cryptocurrency goes back to its all-time high, the prices that it reached in 2017. What would happen with a $10,000 investment today? So if I were to put in $10,000 into Bitcoin today, and Bitcoin went to its all-time high of about $20,000, I would just double my money. My $10,000 would turn into $20,000. But if I put in $10,000 into Ethereum today, and it went to its all-time high of $1,400, that would be a six times multiplication. So with Bitcoin, my 10,000 would turn into 20,000, but with Ethereum, my 10,000 would turn into 60,000. So speaking, 10 years from now or 20 years from now, if these projects do well, then there's a lot of potential. But of course, if Ethereum is still around in 20 years from now, it's more likely that a person will be able to multiply their money by a much greater amount than they would be with Bitcoin. Again, this is not financial advice. It's possible that these cryptocurrencies might go to zero within the next year or two. While I don't think that will happen, it is possible. So there you have it. When it comes to technology, the winner is Ethereum. When it comes to their use as money, the winner is Bitcoin. And when it comes to their use as an investment, it will depend on your current situation, your personal situation. But the question Ethereum versus Bitcoin, I don't really like that question. It's the wrong question to ask because like I said earlier, it's apples and oranges. They're totally different. They can coexist. Bitcoin can exist with another altcoin, right? But the real question to ask is, can Ethereum exist alongside another cryptocurrency that is very similar to it? For example, a project like EOS or maybe something like Cardano. So that's something we'll have to see in the future. So when I am asked Ethereum versus Bitcoin, which one is better? My answer is I like them both. I hope that you found value in this video. If you want more content, subscribe to the channel so that I can give you this easy to understand information and you can become a blockchain expert. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.